Happy Thursday, everyone. It's time for the weekly wrap up at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Hope everybody's had a great start to their 2024 year. You might be able to hear my computer a little bit in the background because there's some things I want to share with you. But hope everybody had a safe, happy holiday. We have some great things that happened at year end, thanks to all of you. That includes that we met the match for the bobcat habitats, and we are so thankful that we'll get to build those. The fence company will be coming here about Thursday or Friday of next week to do all the measurements, and we're looking at reaching out and getting some maybe cave structures and the rocks delivered while the ground is still frozen. So we're super, super excited. And many of you already know that we'll be celebrating next year the 25th anniversary of the Wildcat Sanctuary. And 25 years when I started this a long time ago, and I was much younger and had much more energy, but thrilled about that. So want to also thank you guys. Some cat condos arrived, cat toys, cat food, cat litter, still coming in from the 12 days of Catmas, and so thankful and grateful for that. That really helps us stock up, of course. And a lot has been going on here. On top of us working through the holidays and the evenings and things like that, we have new interns starting today. We have 4 new animal care interns. From all over the country, some from the Midwest, some from, what was the warmest one? I think Texas. Texas was our media intern. We have another media intern starting as well. So 5 new faces today. And then as we talked about, we had 2 new caretakers start as well. We hired 2 of our former lead-in interns as permanent caretakers. So Tyler and Jill have joined the team, and so we're going through kind of formal onboarding for everyone in that area. So a lot of new faces is great, but it does take time. We want to onboard people thoughtfully. We want them to know the protocols, the TWS ways, and things like that. So part of that is we are looking at our training protocol and kind of revamping it, kind of going back to the tried and true, really simple is better approach. And so we're actually engaging the caretakers in that process to set up kind of the future module versus just learning on the job and things like that. We want to set everybody up for success. So we want their first couple of weeks to be what we call kind of classroom training, where we're going through some of the boring stuff, the manuals, but also the really important stuff, our mission, vision, educational pillars, our position on certain things, kind of key things around the sanctuary as well, the admin size of it, but then really giving them the big picture and spending, a few weeks where they're not out there, but they're learning about the cats in crisis, small cat crisis, our crisis planning, our safety planning, our operant conditioning, our enrichment, how we build here, and all of that. And so then we go through the classes. And then they'll go out with a person, whether it's a staff member, a trainer, or a manager, and see those things demonstrated. Then they take a quiz and pass the quiz. Then they shadow in that for a period of time. And then they lead that and get checked off as a pass-fail to go actually do that. And so it's a way that they know exactly what our expectations are. Everybody's learning the same way. Everybody knows the safety standards, the redundancy we have. And so looking at revamping those, like the quiz questions, what has changed? What new areas have we added? Things like that. So takes a lot of time, but it's so important to what we do. And on top of that, we have 2 new staff joining us. I mean, people knew that Teresa left. We have Kelly, our operations director, gave us a long notice and is still going to be working with us remotely through some transition time, but she is moving to warmer climates. So we've onboarded Katie, a new operations director who, we've learned there's a big learning curve coming to the sanctuary, and we want to give everybody time to absorb the information and learn what we do before they're expected to do all their job duties. So she's started this week as well, and we have an operations manager, animal care manager, what we call is the human manager, because our caretakers do an excellent job caring for the animals that are starting as well. So a lot of onboarding. We're really excited for the new faces. We're sad to see some faces move on, but we know they're going to be friends for life. We know that one of our old employees is already coming back to volunteer every Sunday. And so once you're part of TWS, you're always part of TWS. On top of that, we are working with the vet department to put together the whole exam schedule for next year. Obviously, what we can plan for is the wellness exams, because we give cats wellness exams every 3 years, as best we can, unless there's something that gets in the way. And then we do vaccines every 3 years. At the 15-year mark, we give them their last wellness exam so that we're not sedating a geriatric cat more than we need to. And we assume once they're over 15, they are going to be seen, obviously, they're going to be seen as needed if they have any issues. And so kind of what I wanted to share a little bit today, what I had always shocked at is when I look at who's over 15 years old here at the sanctuary. It always surprises me, especially because some of them are so young at heart. So I wanted to take you through the list of who's 15 years or older. Andre the Savannah cat is 21 years, and we're always looking at his arthritis and things like that. Athena the bobcat is 18. She just seems young and spry. Of course, bobcat baby Jenga, we know is older and has some issues. He's 21. Bobcat Bella is 18. Bengal, Benny, who lives here in the office, is 17. Bobcat Benson is 19. Brianna the bobcat is 17. Buddy the bobcat is 20 years old. Claude the bobcat is 19 years old. Cougar Denoma is 16. Dream the Bengal is 19. Edgar, our beloved upstairs office cat, is 18. Bobcats Haley and Henry are 16. Hilo the Savannah is 17. Jewel the F1 Bengal is 17. Kisa the F1 Bengal is 17. Langley the Cougar is about 15 years old. Ledger the Savannah is 20 years old. Leo the Savannah is 17 years old. Lizzie the Serval is 20 years old. Mansa the lion is 17. Ooh, so that might be actually Leo the lion and not Leo Savannah. I might have had that wrong. Wow, I don't think of them as being that old, but yeah, they are getting up there. Max 1, the Bengal, is 19 years old. Bobcat Morgan is 18 years old. Our little office cat, Mr. Oreo, is 16 years old. Nala, one of our Bengals that lives at the intern house, is 18 years old. Noah is 15 years old. Nunda, Serval Nunda, is one of our oldest, 22 years old. Pandora the tiger is 21 years old. Serval Phoenix is 20 years old. Ramsey the Canada Lynx is 20 years old. Sebastian Stan, a Bengal that lives in another intern house, is 16 years old. Sebastian the Serval is 20 years old. Shadow the Black Leopard is 23 years old. Shazam the Black Leopard is 22 years old. Sophie the Lion is 19 years old. And Tiger the Bengal is 19 years old. So you guys can see that we still have a huge geriatric population, and those are only the ones over 15. Most veterinarians consider cats over 10 years old senior cats. We try not to here at the sanctuary. So that is a thing that we are putting those schedules together and obviously watching them. We have something new that we'll be bringing to you in 2024. I'm going to give you a teaser now, but don't bug Judson over and over for this, because we have things that we're working out. As part of the funding you helped us do this year, we upgraded our security system across the sanctuary. And this is just a sampling of some of the cameras. And so here you can see in Rescue Bay. I can see in the hospital, usually there's domestic cats running around. And we are able, let me see if some of these are moving. It's kind of sticking on me. Oh, it doesn't want to move. Let's see if I can get some of the outside habitats. My computer's really slow, and when I have them all open, like I did to show you, it's not the same as the security equipment. But what I'll do is I'll go bring you to the closet. And so not only can I see those cameras on my computer and remotely, but here in our IT room, we have them all present as well. And what I have up right now is the camera that's on Leo and Mansa's habitat. You can't even see them out there right now. And what we are going to be planning to do is being able to stream some of these cameras 24/7 for you to be able to watch your favorite cats. Now everything looks black and white right now till I open it up. I was trying to see if there was some action anywhere right now. Let's see this one. No, Leo and Mansa were just out when everybody was feeding them. But I always pick the bad time. But what's awesome is I don't, the ones I'm picking, there's not cats walking around. But what I'm excited about this is that over the next few months, stay tuned, because we are going to be bringing you live cameras to some of your favorite cats that you'll get to tune in and see. So I'm super excited to share that with all of you. I'm going to turn this around now. So not only, will you get the live posts and things you're doing, but there'll be definitely days and times where you can tune in and see any of your favorite cats here at the sanctuary. So that was a long project to get upgraded, and it's a whole different system than our Wi-Fi, but it's so important to the safety of the residents, so great for us to be able to see them, and then in the future, you'll get to see them too. So some things we talked about last week is kind of where our next moves and mergers are. Is we talked about Fargo moved kind of next to Minerva, the Asian leopard cat, because Fargo's a little more Asian leopard cattish. There has not been anything negative through the fence, which is great. So we're going to add a couple more platforms to try and encourage them on the shared wall together. And then hopefully in the future, there'll be a play date with those two. And Ripley and Miko, the Canada Lynx, will be moving down to what we call Roar Ridge Island area in a larger free-roaming habitat, and Bogart will be moving up to where they are in quarantine in hopes that Kaya, the new bobcat, can live next door to Bogart and eventually maybe have a play date. So those are kind of our moves coming up. We're also discussing that we have seen some more positive interaction between Gino the lion and his mother, Sophia. Both of them are fixed, and we had tried a play date earlier in the summer. And Gino was a little much, but now that they've had a lot of time next to each other, we are considering another play date. Otherwise, we're considering moving Gino back to near Alyssa in the spring or summer. So we were thinking about trying to do that play date before that happens. Nice to see people watching. Nice. Thanks, Bob. I saw Andrea, one of our old caretakers. Love ya. Belle, Kathy's joining us. Hope you guys all had a really happy holiday. Thanks everybody who's watching, of course. And then we still have a kind of a watch list of a few cats. So we have the ophthalmologist that's going to be coming on site to look at a few of our cats with eye issues. And that includes Josie, the domestic cat upstairs, who we already removed one of her eyes. If you remember, she had severe cataracts from head trauma. She can't really see out of the one that's there, and it's starting to irritate her again. So we'll be definitely looking at that and deciding what's the best to do. Bobcat Sarge. It looks like he has a cataract that might have moved or ruptured or something, but he's acting bright, alert, and responsive. He's not acting like it bothers him. It's just a change in his eye we see. So he will be looked at too. And little Asian leopard cat Aiden, who came with that cataract, and it seems he's squinting a lot more, it's draining a lot more, and so we definitely, since he's under a year old, want to look at what's going on there. We assume there was trauma at a young age before he came to us. So those are the ones we're looking at. Chili, we're still watching, and baby Jenga, baby mostly for geriatric. And issues in Chili, he's having some more mechanical issues. Seems like a lot of on his front legs, so we're watching him. Shadow, our older leopard has had a lot of benign cysts, and one has ruptured a little bit where she keeps licking it and reopening it. It's not infected, it's just not pretty, and so we're going to decide if we see if she'll let it heal, or if she bugs it too much, we might have to sedate and remove it just so she's not over grooming it. And then Noah the tiger, again, loved the video that Judson and Olivia put of him and Elizabeth having their moments in the habitat. And you can definitely see our big lug of a guy is having a hard time with his back legs. We knew that when we rescued him this year. And we also know that the age we had was not the true age. It was falsified so that they could replace him if he passed away under the law. And so we know he's probably very senior, much older than we have on our chart for him. But he's being happy and doing well right now, so we take it day by day for sure. So for what's for next year? Well, guess what? Uproar magazine is going to be in homes for those of you that have signed up for that magazine. If you haven't, giving $25 more or more annually a year, you'll get put on the list. And that kind of has a recap of all those new residents that joined us this year, but also what our plans are for next year. So stay tuned when we talk about all the projects. Some of them you know about, some of them will be new to you. And then also I am going to be chair again of the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance Rescue Committee. I'm doing that in tandem with a committee, but we know that there's going to be more cats in need of homes due to the Big Cat Public Safety Act, and also due to USDA finally closing down facilities that have multiple violations. And so we want to be a resource for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife to help place those animals in accredited sanctuaries, so we finally end the cycle of abuse. So I'll be spearheading that with all my colleagues. And then remember, it's January, so it's time for you all to purchase a new TWS 2024 calendar. You don't want to miss that out. So you can find that on our website. Judson and Olivia are going to be posting about it as well. But it's a wonderful photo calendar. And every time I look, because it has to be done in advance, it's amazing how our new residents aren't captured yet because we had to produce this back in July or August. But would love for you to support the cats by purchasing that 2024 calendar. And so those are kind of the big things going on right now. I love that all of you guys are supporting us and enjoying social media. Reminder that we have a YouTube channel that you can go watch more videos on, especially our Wild at Heart videos. We do Wild at Heart videos on many of our residents that has their bio. If you haven't been to our website, definitely go to wildcatsanctuary.org. Every resident here at the sanctuary has a page there where you can learn about them, you can sponsor them, and then there's a lot on the small cat crisis, the issues of white tigers and things like that. So great. And then we have Instagram and TikTok as well. So there's so many ways to keep up to date with your favorite cats. We're really, really excited about that. I'm hoping you guys have the best 2024 ever. We keep saying every year is going to get better and better, hopefully for the people and for the animals we care for, and we really appreciate you making that possible. We've kind of had our first kind of snowfall this week. It's really light, but we are really still happy that we have some really mild temperatures. We know next week is going to be a little colder, but that is why we are one of the only facilities that have an indoor temperature controlled area for every resident at our sanctuary. And they have the choice of coming in and out whenever they want. The only time they're shifted one way or another is for small maintenance or for cleaning, but they are not locked in or out at night unless there's extreme temperatures and we want them to be safe. You saw that the cheetahs even got new customized dens with windows, so that not only do they have the building to use, but they have heated dens. Baby has some extra, Baby Jenga the bobcat has some extra radiant heat outside for his old body if he wants it, but he's been sleeping outdoors on his hammock. So we're thrilled about that. There's still some hybrid cases I'm working on, an F1 Savannah that they thought they needed rehoming. I think the owners backed out on that, but 2 sanctuaries offered placement for that. I have animal control who went in on a non-related police raid and has found an exotic cat, but they are going through protocols before they can go back in and determine next steps for that exotic cat. Today we received a call on a Bengal that had been live trapped and sadly bit somebody, and so we are hopefully to coordinate with that vet clinic that cat should not be euthanized, but can be held on a quarantine protocol and end up at a sanctuary or a rescue group appropriate for Bengals. So still things we hear. And then Argentina. I know everybody always wants an update on Argentina. So it is probably the slowest process we've had of getting cats imported. And that's really because the Ukraine lion cubs came so quickly because of the war, where these tigers in Argentina are considered an elective import, even though we know it's a rescue, and that zoo has been closed down for big cats for a lot of time. These cats are geriatric, but we do feel that it is moving forward, and our goal is, if the permit goes through and everything aligns correctly, that March or April they will be stepping on grass for their first time here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. But they are older cats, so I have a feeling they're gonna kind of be a little bit more, maybe like Chipino and Sultania were versus the Ukraine cubs. But it doesn't matter the age, the species, the health issues, the behavior issues. We're here to say yes when we have capacity, and we're up for the challenge of making them feel wild at heart here at the sanctuary. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you next week.